A Democrat judge is getting indicted for helping an illegal alien avoid ICE. Hakeem Jeffries speaks out about the protests happening in the New Jersey ICE facility, and the Department of Homeland Security sends a direct message to Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So let's go ahead and start with Judge Hannah Dugan. You guys might remember her as the judge who tried to help an illegal immigrant escape immigration officers.
It goes right to the heart of the America First agenda. A federal grand jury just indicted that Wisconsin judge, Hannah Dugan, after she allegedly helped an illegal avoid ICE at her courthouse. Senator, again, promises made, promises kept. Tom Homan, the president, said, look, you interfere with the lawful work of ICE, and we're going to hold you accountable. And it looks like a grand jury, at least for now, it looks like this is serious for this judge.
Yeah, really serious. Well, it's a federal crime. She committed a crime, and I don't know about you, but I'm tired of these judges all across the country acting like they're above the law, acting like they are some sort of tin-pot dictators who can sit up there and say, oh, here's what we want to do. I'm going to run the country. I'm going to be president. They're supposed to be following the law, Laura. They're supposed to be adjudicating the law, and they're supposed to be following it as private citizens, and this judge was doing neither. So I'm glad she got indicted. I hope they prosecute this thing all the way through. It is outrageous for a sitting judge to be trying to obstruct justice in the United States of America. That's what this individual was doing. This is a clear message to these judges. Start doing your jobs and quit obstructing the fair implementation of justice in this country.
Yeah, just so.
You worked hard your whole life. You deserve a Medicare plan that actually works for you, not one that drains your wallet. That's why Chapter exists, guys. They're not tied to a few plans. They review every option to save you money. They also want to make sure you keep your doctors and maximize your benefits. The average senior is saving about $1,100 a year with Chapter. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, Chapter was founded by people who refused to let their parents continue to get ripped off. Now they're helping families everywhere. It's totally free. There's no cost. There's no pressure. Just real help. Reach out to our friends over at Chapter right now at askchapter.org/Ron, or you can give them a call at 909-563-8279. I'll leave their phone number and the link to their website down below as a pinned comment and in the description, and get the help that you deserve. Now, it wasn't just Senator Josh Hawley who had a comment for the partisan judge. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem also had some very choice words for Dugan and this indictment. Watch.
There was this Wisconsin judge, you're familiar with her, Hannah Dugan. She tried to slide a Biden migrant out the back door and obstruct an ICE arrest at her own courthouse. Well, it looks like she's been indicted. How do you react to that?
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that the judicial system recognized that she let down the court, let down the country, let down the authority that her position held, and that she will be held accountable for it. So I think that was a great decision coming forward to recognize that nobody can facilitate breaking the law. We shouldn't be able to allow that in this country, and we need to make sure that even judges are held accountable for the actions that they take.
They were telling us no one's above the law. So let's just look how that plays out.
So here's the deal, guys. Democrats have not learned enough to say that they're not above the law. And you might remember that just recently, a bunch of House Democrats rushed an ICE detention center in New Jersey, which got the mayor arrested as they were checking how criminals were being treated by ICE. I actually have the footage of what that place looks like inside. But first, let's talk about the arrests that have been happening due to protests.
He did not do anything wrong.
A protester escorted to a police car as dozens of clergy members sat down and blocked the gates of Delaney Hall, a federal immigration detention center in Newark. They want to know the names of the people detained inside.
Are people having beds, enough beds? Are people having air conditioner inside? We know it's hot. Are we having the proper food?
Where's this energy when it comes to our homeless veterans? How about for people struggling on Social Security? Because these protesters clearly care more about illegal immigrants than U.S. citizens. And it might be shocking to see, but the inside of this facility is actually top notch.
I think immigration advocates would question whether this facility is humane. What would you say to folks who have doubts?
Well, what I would say is that I'm very happy that you came to allow us to pull the curtain back and show exactly the facility and what it's like here. I think it is humane. ICE detention standards are some of the highest out there when it comes to detention. Obviously, we don't detain in a punitive way. We detain to remove individuals from the country.
And Major, one thing that stood out to us, this is a 1,000-bed facility that opened on May 1st. There were 152 detainees there, roughly 15% capacity.
I know for a fact that you saw how clean that place was, right? And it's funny because these Democrats continue to focus on their mayor's arrest instead of talking about the conditions inside this detention center. They're not talking about it because they know that it would prove that this is, in fact, a humane facility. So they're definitely going to stop talking about that for sure. Instead, we now have Hakeem Jeffries making hollow threats to the Department of Homeland Security. I mean, they're hollow because he doesn't specify what will happen if more Democrats are arrested for breaking the law. Listen to this one.
Questions?
Mr. Leader, good afternoon. What would your statement the other day after there was this incident in Newark, you said they better not touch our members.
Correct.
What happens if they were to go and arrest these members or if they would try to sanction them here in the House of Representatives?
They'll find out.
What would you do, though?
They'll find out.
What recourse? But doesn't that broach a...
They'll find out.
Doesn't that go across...
That's a red line.
What's the red line, though? I know we have this...
It's a red line. It's very clear. First of all, I think that the so-called Homeland Security spokesperson is a joke. It's a joke. They know better than to go down that road, and it's been made loudly and abundantly clear to the Trump administration. We're not going to be intimidated by their tactics to try to force principled opposition from not standing up to their extremism. It hasn't happened during the entirety of this failed term. It didn't happen when Donald Trump temporarily was sitting high in the immediate aftermath of the election. Do you think it's going to happen now when he's the most unpopular president in American history after his first 100 days? Give me a break. No one's intimidated by this dude. No one. And so there are clear lines that they just dare not cross.
He didn't define what the red line was. And if you ask me, he looks intimidated because he can't answer with specifics. All he's saying is that people will find out. Now, if you ask me, all we're finding out is that they're ready to fight for criminals and terrorists. Meanwhile, Americans have been completely forgotten by the Democratic Party. Now, Christy Noem clapped back at Jeffries, especially when it came to his declaration of a supposed red line.
If they break the law, are you going to cross Hakeem's red line?
I tell you what, Jesse, what happened last Friday was we had members of Congress assaulting law enforcement officers. They were cooperating with criminals to create criminal acts, and then they're saying that they were providing oversight. This wasn't oversight. This was committing felonies. This was going out and attacking people who stand up for the rule of law, and it was absolutely horrible. I can't believe they act like this and then they defend it. And then they're doing these acts of violence to get people out of detention centers that are rapists, that are murderers, that are people that are foreign terrorist organizations that have been out there victimizing our communities in the United States of America. What are they trying to do? Release these people back into the country so that there could be more Lake and Rileys, so there can be more Jocelyn Nungries? I just don't understand what their point is. They have completely lost their minds. They have completely lost their minds.
In line with that, DHS Public Affairs Assistant Secretary Trisha McGlaughlin had a message for AOC. The Congresswoman has gone public to say that they're going to fight back if more Democrats are arrested, even though we've seen footage where these same government officials are attacking ICE officers. So here's what McGlaughlin had to say about AOC's message. Watch.
I'd like to ask AOC, who does she want out of that detention facility? Is it the MS-13 members? Is it the known terrorists? Is it the child rapists? Is it the murderers? Who is she fighting for? Because she's not fighting for Americans. She's not fighting for American victims. And I'd like to lay out the facts. The fact that it was these three members of Congress who trespassed, broke the law, and stormed that ICE detention facility. They put law enforcement at risk. They put our detainees at risk. And they put our staff at risk. Had they asked for a tour, we would have happily facilitated one for them. But there was absolutely no notice. And the fact that they put hands, they body slammed, body rammed, push, shove, whatever you want to call it. It was assault on our ICE agents, and it's unacceptable.
So at this point, it's really a question that's already been answered multiple times. The Democratic Party has turned into the party of chaos, one that favors illegal immigrants over U.S. citizens, one that believes that they as government officials are somehow above the law. Here's my question. Do any of you think that these Democrats are looking out for us? Now, I hope you got some time because I want to redirect you to a recent live stream of mine, one where I talked about a Social Security credit and why many are outraged by it. Make sure you guys check it out. As always, appreciate your time. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you next time.